Hello, welcome back for our next episode of Animus Absentis. I am very excited to be playing again. We're going to talk a bit about our sponsors, let everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll jump into the story. So first of all, sponsor information. Just let me get that into chat for everybody. There we go. It is Fundamental RPG, which is the system that powers Animus. It's a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so you can use it to play virtually any style of game that you would like, from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. And it's pretty fun. You can pick up the physical copies on Amazon, or the PDF or the Quick Start Guide, which is free, over on my coffee shop, which is coffee.com/raven/shop. And it's spelled like it is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And also go check out my Start Playing site, which, oops, I don't have a link to yet. I'll have to fix that. But yeah, I'm over on Start Playing Games. I am available for hire as a professional GM. And I run a bunch of different adventures and things just about every week for one-shots, and you can hire me for campaigns and things like that. And I do that through Ravenflight Games. So yeah, also cool stuff. Let's get everybody introduced. Start with the top left with Quinn. Tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hi, I'm Quinn and I'm eating ice. I'm a writer, and that's about it. Tonight I'm playing Sparky, who thankfully I'm actually sort of dressed like today. They are a fashion disaster, ship chihuahua, and general kind of filler of gaps in a non-sexual way, in terms of like roles, jobs, weird shit that needs to be done. They'll do it, and also they'll sometimes almost blow themselves up, which happened last episode if you missed that. So they are, I think, okay now, and that's about as much as I can remember. Yeah.
All right. Next we've got V. Tell us a little bit about Annie and yourself.
Hi, I'm V. I'm a digital artist. You can check out my art Twitter, which is @PepperoDraws, and that's Peppero like the candy. And I play Annie, who is, I always describe her as like the Robin Hood character, but instead of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, she steals from, or she did steal from the rich and sell to the slightly less rich, which was how she kept herself afloat since leaving home. She packed up and left some not great happenings at home. So that's kind of what she was doing. I had a little of a stab back at some shenanigans that her parents were getting up to. So anyway, she is, I don't remember what she's currently doing on the ship. Trying not to catch any weird viruses, I guess. And her little brother is kicking around there somewhere. But yeah, that's me and Amy.
Awesome. Next we've got Alex. Tell us a little bit about Billy and yourself.
Yo, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist, and I play Billy Briggs, who is a cyborg who has recently learned the whole, like, not being an indentured person anymore. And you know what? Wow, everyone, I just go ape wild and destroy things and make the world a better place. Well, the crew has indoctrinated her. Congratulations. And now she's about to go and make friends with a giant lizard that used to be a human.
Awesome. Normally we would have Hannah with us playing Lev. She couldn't make it tonight, but she's awesome. You should definitely come back next episode. See her. And then Goody, tell us a little bit about Captain and yourself.
Hi, I'm Goody, and I play the Captain. Captain is, well, the Captain, and she is a Black Ops murder droid, but she doesn't want to kill anyone. She'll do it if she has to protect what she calls her kids at this point. She does not want to be human, but she is trying her best to understand humans because they're silly. But yeah, she's just trying to make it through life, ripping off one door at a time.
I love that. that just leaves me. I'm Raven. I am everybody else in this universe, including some NPCs on the ship, Daisy and Rip, and now a Dr. Carter for the moment. And then as for me, myself, I'm a professional GM and game designer. I do a whole bunch of stuff in the tabletop space, including voice acting and writing and just tons of things. But as I mentioned, you can check out my Start Playing page, which I put the link in chat, if you would like me to run a game for you. All that out of the way, doing the recap for last session, there was an explosion on the ship as our party here tried to incinerate all of the horrible failed experiments and things that were on the ship. Unfortunately, one of those busted out of the containment right as the fire happened, exploding poor Petey, the engineer that we had saved a few sessions prior. There was no sign of him at all, so we're not really 100% sure what happened, but we're pretty sure he got exploded. During that process, we had Sparky out in the hall, Petey in the med lab, and then the next room down was Annie in the server room, where they found the aforementioned lizard person, who's like a human-sized monitor lizard-looking thing right now. And they've sort of adopted him and are trying to figure out how to communicate. That's kind of where we ended. So for overall quest line, you've got the ship pretty much contained, at least temporarily, with plastic sheeting to keep the bioweapon inside the ship and not get out to the population. Trying to remember if I don't think they get a vaccine figured out. I am drawing a blank.
We know that Lev is immune, ostensibly, and I think they and Carter were doing some sort of business into that. I don't think we actually had a vaccine, though.
Yeah, that's right. It was a test that you figured out.
Yes,
that's what it was. My brain is not working today. So yeah, you figured out a test to see if anybody is infected or not. Still working on a vaccine. With Hannah being out this week, that's probably what Lev and Dr. Carter are just going to be working on off screen. Is working on getting that vaccine figured out. We also did mention last session that this is a Black Ops ship that the Loyalist faction's probably going to be looking for. So that is something probably at the forefront of all of your minds. And then there is the, obviously the minor colony that's here that is probably wanting to know what's going on. So what do you want to do now?
This is not feasible whatsoever, but my brain was like, why don't we just treat it like Chernobyl and just put a big old concrete dome over it? Because we don't have the friggin'
Billy's going to be basically making suggestions for like how they would contaminate areas of the mines and stuff. And basically, it's a lot of move anything living out of the area and then just douse it with things to kill everything.
Here's a question. Is there groundwater on this planet? Because I know it was kind of like a barren mining moon or whatever, but I don't think we ever established whether it had a water table.
Yeah.
Can this survive in clean water? That's the other thing. A lot of things cannot survive in purified water.
That's true.
Yeah, you are not sure about the can it survive in water question at the moment, so that would be a good one to bring up.
They're test in small scale.
Yeah, there are natural water tables on the planet. It is like the planet for most of the more temperate zones, I guess you could say, of the planet, is a lot like southern Utah or New Mexico or Arizona. It's that sort of
pretty arid.
Yeah, it's pretty arid, but there are water tables. There is vegetation and things like that. It's just a dry environment, vegetation.
Okay. One of my thoughts was just like burying it in soil, but I'm worried about that contaminating.
That's a fair concern.
Yeah, Billy's just kind of looking for ways for us to kill it when it's not within a house. So
Okay.
we can contaminate everything and then move people out of there.
I mean, we could try to superheat it.
But the only difficulty with that is the plastic holding everything in.
Oh shit, I guess so. Yeah. Well, we could freeze it then.
But that also requires a lot of energy, given that we're not warm, arid
does.
planet.
A lot of these things we don't have.
Yeah, it's like this is gonna be Billy's like doing like putting out an idea, and then her like, okay, these are all the ways this won't work, and then like another idea, and these are all the ways this won't work. But I was like, and then another idea, and like, okay, this might work if this thing works. So she needs to figure out what kills it the fastest.
I think Sparky would probably pipe up and say, well, the explosive gas thing in the med bay seemed to work really well. So maybe the miners have found
Billy
pockets
has a
of explosive
possible
gas.
idea. If we did it so the entire ship was completely filled up with a gas that was able to be lit and just get into everything in one go, it might be fast enough that it won't melt through the plastic.
What I'd be worried about, though, is that's a bomb,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So
That it's like, again, in the cons,
yeah,
this is a bomb.
but maybe we could feed back like something from the engine or the reactor, like just feed back waste heat.
Hell, even just exhaust or something.
Sorry,
Like,
go ahead, Raven.
I was just gonna say, from your just your passive engineering knowledge, your characters would know that you need something on par with like a nuke to fully blow up this ship. But as Sparky just mentioned, it does have a reactor, which is effectively
Essentially
a
a nuke.
nuclear reactor.
I was like, and like Billy's like, wait, why don't we irradiate it?
I think we should check if radiation. We should check
Let's see
these
if
things.
radiation
We
kills
should
the
check.
thing.
Yeah,
It's like add radiation to the list of things we need to see if it'll kill it.
yeah. We're just writing on the wall of the ship with like chalk.
She got some grease sticks from somewhere.
At
Yeah.
least it's not potatoes this time.
At least it's not potatoes or cheese, for that matter.
Let's see.
Although,
I'm sorry, and I just remembered Sparky's still high as a kite right now too.
I was wondering if this was like post that, because I think Lev gave me a stimulant,
Oh right,
Yes.
yeah.
so I'm not quite so loopy as I am like.
So contacting Lev and Dr. Carter about those questions, they are able to find out that unfortunately it can survive in water, but radiation in a relatively like low amount, so like enough that like humans still it would not be a good idea for them to be in that much radiation, but they might
It's
not
not like the vacuum of space.
yeah like
But we do have like a whole bunch of suits now, and we can remove people who are on the ship who aren't infected,
And a reactor that we can,
and
make
then we
radiation
can
with.
just have people that are in suits while we do the irradiation.
The trick is going to be figuring out, if you're going that route, figuring out how to blow up the ship with the nuclear reactor without causing fallout that would affect.
No, not even blowing.
We don't
up
want to blow it up.
Not even blowing up the ship. Billy
We just want to
basically
sweep it.
wants to
Oh, I see.
basically create a radiation burst from the engine. Basically,
Yeah.
remove the shielding enough that we can irradiate the ship, and it won't actually damage the ship.
Yeah. Maybe the ground in like a
Yeah.
click distance is irradiated, but
Okay.
the alternative.
Yep. The land will survive that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because that creates different problems, which are it's a little bit more difficult to execute than just blowing it up, and it creates different problems, but it solves some of the bigger problems with a bomb.
This I just want to say as an aside, this series has turned us from like, oh, we're like doing space heist stuff to like actual genuine engineering problems.
Right?
It's mind-boggling.
I learned more about weird space terraforming engineering through this game because I've had to sit there and be like, okay, no, we need to take this and this into account though.
We like scientists take notes. That's all I'm going to say. So
I also in a positive way very much blame Seattle and Billy for a lot of that.
Honestly, yeah, no, you're right.
And I'm not even an engineer. I've never been interested in engineering stuff.
You play engineers really well.
It's because you like problem solving.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so those are our ideas. What a captain and I can't fucking Annie. Jesus.
Captain
it's like V. What's V's character?
Have to say about all these ideas that are being written down a hallway wall.
Is it with removable pen?
It's with grease pens.
We really need to get Billy a whiteboard.
What is removable, really?
No, grease pens, you can just like wipe them off.
So long as you clean it up.
Oh.
But no, Captain's fine with the radiation sweep, but Captain wants to contact the trash pandas because I think they would be a good way to get the information that there's an insanely deadly virus being manufactured.
Okay.
It's like, hey, trash pandas, you might want to know about this.
Luckily for that idea, isn't Alice still here somewhere?
Yeah, I think he actually is still on the planet.
I think so.
Annie asked him to stay with Liam for a little while they were figuring shit out.
Yeah. Yeah, Alice is able to get in contact without much difficulty. What exactly do you want them to broadcast? Like, what information do you want to include in that? Are you like recording something like of yourselves talking, or like?
Probably don't want to show our faces.
Fair call.
But yeah, probably just some photo proof, unfortunately, of this, and just the loyalist faction and who knows who else has been manufacturing this extremely contagious, always fatal illness that anybody can get. They say it's for this, but pretty much this entire ship was exposed and they didn't care.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. There was a comment in our chat about not showing locations. So they can basically put the message out, but Alice kind of lets you know, like, they need some kind of evidence. Otherwise, it just seems like a conspiracy theory.
Billy's like, well, why don't we show, like, one of the people exploding?
Do we have footage of that?
I'm evens or odds.
Captain record things?
I imagine,
Captain.
I imagine so.
I'm not gonna say it. Somebody else, yes.
So did you say evens or odds?
Yep.
Odds.
All right. Odds means there is footage that exists.
Yay.
And I rolled a 15. Footage exists. That's something we should probably figure out. Is because Captain would basically be a camera, but like, how long do you store that in like video format versus like the summary of events.
She defrags once a month. I don't know.
Once a month. I mean, that tracks. So that could potentially be an option, or there's security footage of the whole ship.
Oh, cool.
I was wondering if that would still be active after the crash.
Some of it was, some of it was not. Because the ship was basically still functioning.
I guess.
For the most part, it just was not in one piece.
We could also blackmail the head officers or whoever's left into being like, hey, can you show us some of the research on the virus? Because we're trying to make a vaccine, and then, actually use it for propaganda.
That's true. Also, Dr. Carter, as long as it's done anonymously, would be okay with relaying the information about what it is.
All right.
Oh, we should also release the test.
Yes.
Billy's like, we should release the test too, so people can actually make sure, and also the vaccine once it's made.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to. You don't even have to go do rolls or anything like that for it. You can go into the server room, find those recordings pretty easily of, people being affected by the virus in the explosive way. And you include the information on how to construct the test to see if somebody has it or not. And then what else did you want to include? Or was that it?
I feel like that was it.
I think that was it. Now, did you say Dr. Carter did want to?
Not that she wants to, it's more that she'd be willing if you ask her.
We can disguise her, do the whole witness
silhouette.
protection thing.
Yeah.
Silhouette,
Yeah.
make the voice modulated.
Voice thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then...
Should we say whose ship it is?
I think we should just say loyalist faction.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. All right.
Because if they
actually really know exactly which ship we're talking about, but
what I was worried about is if other outside people, if we give a specific ship, they could be like, oh well, it was in this area, we know where
Yeah,
it is.
true. Yeah, ship spotters.
So
Damn kids with nothing else to do.
get off my lawn.
Let's see. Nope. Daisy didn't think of that. It's funny. I have a thought that I can't share because I'm the GM. But a character might think of it.
You could just roll secretly for each of us. Because I think you can do that.
Why is Roll20 being weird? The chat on the site is completely gone. That's weird. Let me refresh my window here.
would you like us to all roll empathy?
Yeah, you can do that as well.
Oh no.
Okay, there we go. Yep.
For the Android.
Rip did not figure it out either.
Billy is
Billy, honey.
blissfully unaware. Just focused all hard on trying to make sure that we don't fuck up everything else and trying to destroy this virus.
The good news is that I have charismatic, which I can re-roll this empathy if it goes shit. So let's see. 24.
Okay.
Does that work? Does that work?
Yeah, Annie has the thought.
God.
So Annie, as you're helping put all this information together, and you mentioned the loyalist faction in it, it starts to dawn on you that while everybody here are logical, well-thinking people, the masses are
Right.
not. And
probably should actually aim the masses at the entire loyalist faction. Oh.
And yes, that could tip the war that's happening pretty severely into the NFA faction, which is not necessarily a good thing because neither side are the good guys.
Right.
So, not necessarily that you shouldn't do the thing that you're about to do, but that's something that you should think about and be prepared for.
Annie will absolutely relay that thought to everybody else. Yeah, because that is a thing that could happen, and we definitely need to think of like a counterbalance. I think to make sure that nothing goes horribly, terribly wrong.
Does the public know about these horrible flash cloned duplicate soldiers?
They know some things about them. In
Well,
large
didn't the
part,
Violentus crew?
yeah, I was gonna say in large part thanks to the Violentus crew and New Skeeter.
Alice has New Skeeter in like a duffel bag somewhere, and he's just like whistling, pretending he doesn't know anything.
So yeah, the public at large knows about the androids. Not everybody knows about like the specifics of like, oh, that's an actual person that they duplicated, not just like, used a human brain to whatever. So the NFA faction is has done a really good job of damage control. And they have the non-fungible android thing where people can sponsor a robot.
Here's a thought.
So they're generally a little bit better accepted.
My thinking is, if we frame it in the way that it actually is, that this virus is meant to like kill off the androids, we also postulate, hint at, maybe do a light lampshading of that a virus wouldn't affect robots. Maybe more heavy-handed than that, but like we could easily dupe both sides on it and kind of tank both ratings if that works.
And can bring up the fact that they decided to have a fight over neutral territory, and they do not care about civilians.
Also that. Also, we could do same witness protection with some of the execs. I mean, probably under duress, realistically, because they don't want to say it. But
especially the officers who killed their captain.
Yeah.
Okay. Just thinking through everything that you're saying, because this is steadily getting larger and larger in scope. Okay. So your plan now is to include the stuff that we already talked about. But also present it as what was the robot thing?
Essentially just like it's a wartime tactic, and they wouldn't be making a virus to fight the NFA side if there weren't something organic that it was fighting, because they're robots ostensibly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of lifting the veil on the fact that they're not actually robots, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Making that a little bit more clear.
Is because there is soft parts in the robots. Those soft parts are people's brains.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
And this is what happens to people's brains.
Okay. All right. Let's do.
This is your android's brain on virus.
Basically, I just realized we're fucking them up by just being like, okay, we're just gonna tell everybody everything. We're just gonna put it all out there.
As long as everybody knows everything, nobody wins. Probably.
That's true, but who loses is the question.
That's a later problem.
That's a problem for future Animus crew.
That's when somebody actually loses. We're not at that step yet.
Yeah, it's like, and also mostly the big companies are gonna lose, not the smaller companies, which technically part of now.
It's probably more people than companies that would get hurt.
Yes.
I think that's unavoidable, unfortunately.
Okay. We've
This is my thinking. I would be happy if anyone else wants to pick it apart. We don't have to go with it.
No, you're good. You've got a pretty good idea here. You've got like the information that you want to share, and a good understanding of how it might affect things. So now you need to put it all together into a presentation, which I need charm rolls for. Anyone who would like to is able to make a charm roll to get a collective number.
I did also just have an extra thought.
Hmm.
We could frame it as a leak from one of the sides. So that way it's like, oh, this actually came from a legitimate source inside of the company.
That is true.
Okay.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
That will raise the DC somewhat, but that is a very good idea.
Okay.
Coming in clutch with my charismatic stat. I'm gonna re-roll this shit. So if it goes badly,
Please do. And I have a
Okay.
big score, so I can help.
I have a plus 26 to my charm, so I'm hoping that it's just, let's see.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, 45.
Damn. Can I do a speech, not a charm?
It's gotta be charm for this one.
Oh,
Okay.
We tried to
I'll
help.
get you there, Billy.
We didn't
Billy.
try to help.
Oh, Captain.
Removed from the help.
Captain malfunctioned, okay?
Oh my god. It's really heavily weighted on one side, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Ship's a little uneven.
Do I still
Now,
I do.
Raven, question.
Yes. Answer.
Because we're dealing with fabricating information and moving information, could I add my information broker to that score?
You could, yes.
Okay, so instead of a 45, it's a 57.
Awesome.
And Raven,
Mhm.
in the spirit of adding numbers, would you consider this a type of subterfuge?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Then I will add my assassin bonus to it.
Can I add
Which
Dawn
turns that
just
for
too
me to
scary?
6.
No.
I do have a daunt.
At least just here to hold the graphs.
So
it's a 42, I think.
okay. So Daisy and Alice help out, and that kind of counters Billy and Captain. So Sparky's got a really high roll. Annie's got a ridiculously high roll. And then everything else sort of averages out. So yeah, I think you did a good job of putting it all together. Like, it looks like a leak. It gets everything across that you want it to. And now it's up to the scattered masses, as it were. Which basically comes down to just random luck. So I've got to make some dice rolls. Let's see. Okay.
We just dropped the biggest fucking problem into our lap, and we were like, okay, we'll make it your problem again.
Okay. That was the first thing I needed to know. Okay, that's good. And
I love how you're rolling deliberately not on roll 20 so we can't see.
oh no. Okay. So, how well was it received? I rolled a 2.
Oh, honey.
The masses did not like the information. The second
Well-
roll was an 18. Did they believe the information? Yes. So at 18 they believe it. They're not happy about it. And the third roll was, what is their reaction to it? Is there rioting in the streets? Are they chill about it? Is there chaos? I rolled a nat 1.
God.
It looks like rioting in the streets it is.
So
Come, my minions, right? We just weaponized people. Good God.
Now
so
we really got to get the violentist crew back. Jeez.
Yep. So yeah, there's rioting and galactic unrest.
Sounds like a them problem.
Yep.
Record scratch. You're probably wondering how we got here.
Goody, that was a very reverend answer to give. What the fuck?
Yeah. Sometimes he sneaks out. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's been me the whole time.
So yeah, that's a new landscape variable to factor in now.
We definitely did a
Bad
thing.
outcome.
Yep.
It's
We've
not a good
always
outcome.
done shit like this, though. If you
That's
think
true.
about it, this has always been our path.
Yeah, we're kind of 0 or 100.
I'm trying to remember how did Sparky put it exactly? Like, we want to set the hornet's nest on fire and then kick it.
Oh yeah, it's like we don't want to kick the hornets nest. We want to set the whole damn thing on fire or something like that.
Yeah, you just dumped a whole bunch of gasoline on it.
Yeah. I'm like, is there a hornet's nest in that backyard? Cool. Just burn the whole fucking thing down. I don't love this anymore.
We're just gonna cover it in napalm. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Scorched earth is viable, right?
I mean,
We can
sure.
still plant on that.
God. So yeah, society and economies are sort of collapsing, but the big corporate armies are having trouble now. So yeah, that's a thing that happened. The
We
universe
could twist this in our favor.
Okay.
Propaganda to join the, resistance.
Okay.
I'm just putting ideas out there. Please do not take that as read. I'm just thinking like, well, these people hate the companies. We might have more people who are willing to, side with the resistance.
Excuse me. That is true.
Recruitment rates. And all that.
That is a good idea.
Horrifying.
that might take some time.
Finagling.
Yeah. But in the meantime, you don't really know that everything's on fire.
Right.
So because that happens in the coming weeks and months.
There's a time lag for stuff that gets to us.
Yeah. It takes time for that information to spread, and then all the reactions, and so yeah. So how about that virus ship?
Yep. How about that vaccine? How's that going along? Might need that.
Yeah, I think the vaccine would be a good thing to prioritize.
Yeah,
especially if
they start turning that against rioters.
Well, the good news is, as far as you can tell, all of the information for this was on this ship. So,
we just gotta bury it.
Yeah. So it's not likely that all this information is complete elsewhere in the galaxy. So really, at this point, you just gotta figure out how to transform the nuclear reactor that's supposed to not flood the ship with radiation to a thing that floods the ship with radiation without it exploding.
Well, Raven, I don't know how the fuck to do that, but I do have the engineer's override code for the quarantine ship.
That
we
is
got
true.
last session,
That is very true.
which will probably help in us figuring out how the fuck to do it. I have no clue.
You know who could probably help you figure this out?
See, I don't.
Also, yes, but Petey.
Oh yeah. Oh, PD. Well,
The
Yeah.
lizard's gonna help us?
No, the
Yeah,
the other
obviously.
Petey.
he's
Oh.
got very dexterous fingers to get in there. So
Oh my goodness.
listen,
Um,
PD is
well
on
done.
sabbatical. PD is taking a well-deserved break after being aerated. So he'll be back eventually.
Aerosol.
What's wrong with this crew?
where's Petey? He's Here.
Around.
And over there. And over there.
You could say he's always with us. This is, you know what I just realized? We're the inverse of the Violentis crew. Except we do violence without intentionally doing it.
Yep.
Well, we do intentionally sometimes do violence, but we try to keep our body
we
count
like,
as low as
yeah,
possible.
we temper it a little bit. We're like the Diet Coke of violent.
Captain does violence against doors.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
doors have no,
Oh gosh, the amount of violence against doors this crew has done.
at least twice a session.
It's
Or not a
personal
session,
at
a
this
season,
point.
sorry. Yeah.
So, if you'd like, we can take a break here while y'all try to figure out how you're
be
going to do
good.
this next step.
That might be good.
All right. We'll be right back in about 15 minutes. So go grab snacks, drinks, whatever you need, and then we'll figure out how we're going to do this thing. We'll be right back. Okay, and we are back with society on fire, a nuclear reactor to tweak with, and crossed fingers that it doesn't all explode in our faces.
And we're also playing Animus Absentis tonight.
That was beautiful. So we had a little time to talk and think over the break about what we're doing here. So what's your step one?
Figure out if we can irradiate the ship without blowing it up.
All right.
Billy's going to go and collect all of the engineers and anybody who is connected to the engineer systems, including engineers who worked more on the ventilation systems and circulation systems for the ships too, because we can use those if needed to spread the radiation throughout areas. And she's basically going to sit them down and be like, this is what I need to do. This is what we need to do to kill this virus.
You would also get all the engineers from the miners.
Okay.
Sorry?
Sparky's going to get all the engineers from the mining colony as well. Just get all hands on.
Billy has kind of probably set them all up in like the garden part of the ship, of like just lots of coffee going on, she found anything that could be written on. Just a bunch of engineers with coffee and whiteboards.
All right.
Or whatever she found that could be used as a whiteboard.
Well then, let me get an engineering roll from Billy with advantage, because you have all these people working with you. And we're going to answer the first question of, can it be converted to do the thing that you want it to do?
Would I be able to help on that, Raven?
It with advantage. There you go. Yes, you can do the same with advantage.
Roll 20.
Okay.
28, so.
Okay.
I only have a plus 11 too. Roll 20 is picking favorites tonight.
So,
I realized, can I use my mining
yeah.
skills? Okay, I'm adding an extra 8 to that, so 23 plus 8.
Okay.
31.
So yeah, somewhere in the 30 range. I think that's going to be enough, but let me just consult the difficulty chart. Let's see. With everybody there giving you help, I'd bump that up to an impressive, which means yes, it can be done to make it do the thing that you want it to do, and you all feel pretty confident about that. Let's do this again for the how. Again, with advantage. Because you have a team working on this.
It's still going to be plus 8. All right, I'm going to with the 24.
I didn't go twice.
Okay.
And plus 8 is
24 plus 8, 32.
Yeah, 32.
Just for kicks and giggles, let's do a second one. See if you get any higher.
With advantage, or
was that a 9?
That wasn't the second one. My first one was 19.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. I'm with you now. So yeah. You're probably gonna have to MacGyver a couple of things while you're doing it, but you think you've got a decent plan of how you can make this work without blowing everything up?
Billy is not afraid to MacGyver things, as we found out.
Yes.
He liberally uses the duct tape.
I really hate the application of the word decent to a phrase including nuclear reactor. I really don't like that.
Billy would be like, that's decent. Okay, that's good enough.
Okay.
It's bad. It's not good.
Chernobyl's engineers would like to have a word with you.
Oh no. Me as the player is like, no.
Let's do
this. If it was good
this.
enough for Chernobyl, it's good enough for us. Come on.
Oh my god. This is gonna go great.
Yep.
Hey, at least we're all wearing hazmat suits.
That'll save us from the explosion. You're right. It's a good thing we're wearing.
Good thing we're at least going in hazmat suits.
Yes.
Chernobyl didn't do that.
Let's do that one more time.
No, we're gonna set it up.
Third time's the charm. To see if you can figure out any fail safes to put into your plan. Should there be some untimely nat ones? Oh dear. Okay.
I think I'm gonna. Do I want to re-roll it? Is what I'm.
Well, you can take the higher.
new one? Yeah, I was gonna say.
So 20. So a 26.
26 plus 8.
Okay.
So 34.
34.
And a 27 for me.
27. Okay. Do you have an escape route planned? So, in the event of catastrophic failure, you've got a plan for how to get out of there and hopefully far enough away.
All I can picture is Chicken Run. In the event of an emergency landing, put your head between your knees and kiss your bum goodbye.
We set it all up so we can see if this is the way to push the button.
Yeah, we could remote trigger potentially if it's that, simple.
Especially
but I doubt
since
it.
Billy's already got the probe set up inside of there to boost the signals.
Yep. Go ahead and one more time with advantage. See if you can figure out a remote system.
I really feel like we're trying to overload a reactor, but also contain the overloading.
Oh!
There you go.
Yes.
Yay!
There we go, finally.
You figured out
That'll be a 50
40
total with your 8.
Yeah, you figured out a remote thingy, so that you can activate all of this remotely once it's all set up.
So 2 kilometers safe distance, maybe?
Well, she's thinking 2 kilometers with the button in Rip's ship so they can move away. Because it's faster.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
Faster.
And it's probably shielded for radiation.
Yep. It's like Rip's got the nicer ship to survive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's be real.
While Sparky and Billy are figuring this out and coming up with the plans with a team of engineers, what's Annie and Captain? What are you two doing during this time?
Oh, also Billy wants to find a way to move McLizard onto the ship.
Oh, I assumed you had already done so.
No, we haven't yet. We need to get McLizard off the
That's pretty trivial, probably.
Yeah, you're able to do so. There's
Yeah,
extra
we have holding
rooms.
cells. Yeah.
We set it up nice in there. Got a
After
ramp.
dealt with a giant chicken, why not a lizard man?
Um,
Bill's still working on communication.
yeah, and you were able to find out that his name is Peter Marks II. So
He has to be
PD
on
Mark II.
hardness.
Did you have a father on the ship?
You know what? Why not? Yes.
You're not my father.
He-
My
he
father's dead. You killed him.
he hits the yes button.
I'm sorry for your loss. And Billy goes somewhere else because she does not do this well.
The lizard looks confused.
Billy's probably going to find Sparky, who seems to do better with people than she does, and is like, so you know the engineer that was helping y'all, the PD guy?
Yeah.
Lizard's his son. Good luck. And Billy just goes back to the engineer room.
God.
So just before we switch back, Sparky just goes, "Good luck with what?" and then walks the other way. It doesn't.
Okay, so there's that. And sorry, what was Captain and Annie? What were you doing?
Captain is making sure that the miners go pretty deep in the mines in case of something catastrophic, so that they don't get exploded. And maybe idly running calculations in her head of how well this is going to go. And watching the lizard hit the buttons.
Okay.
Just thinking, can we get a normal pet?
Was that Annie?
Yeah, I don't really know what else there is for Annie to fill in the blanks on. Just, I don't know, toss her in, running back and forth, doing whatever bits and bobs people need her to do.
Refilling the coffee pot.
We've relegated one of our top tech hackers to coffee duty. Great.
Like,
Oh my god.
you're now an intern.
Yeah. The position's not paid. Oh, by the way, you might die today.
Yeah. Not that that's any different from normal.
I mean, listen, technically we could all walk out our front doors and just get hit by a falling air conditioning unit. I don't know.
Okay, Cheaty.
Yeah, essentially. Except for me, because I don't have an apartment above me. But, you know, similar concept. Who knows? Anyway, Annie's just doing what Annie does.
Okay. Then yeah, all of the miners have gone deep into the mines. Everything is set up so that should the worst happen, people are in the best possible position to not die. Who's going into the ship to set this up?
Probably Billy and a few of the engineers who basically the skeleton crew of engineers that she's going to need to do this.
All right.
Sparky will also go.
Okay. So Sparky and Billy are going into the ship with some of the skeleton crew engineers. I'll use Daisy's score for them to roll. There's 3 different parts that you're going to need to do. 1 is removing the shielding from around the reactor. 2 is rigging up the ventilation to move the radiation into the rest of the ship. And 3 is rigging the reactor to be remote activated.
Okay, so we want to do 2, 3, 1. The shielding should be the last thing to come off.
Okay.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, and part of the ventilating is also working with the reactor to kind of create an opening for that stuff to go to.
Exactly. So if we have that done first, there'll always be the opening ready for it to go if something goes wrong while we're removing the shielding, but we'll already also have the detonator set up in place so we can move the fuck out of there if we have to.
I didn't think about this earlier, but we could remove some of the material from the walls if that's, feasible with our mining tools and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make more pathways, create more surface area, essentially.
Yeah. So let's work on the ventilation system and the walls.
Okay.
So we'll do a roll for that.
With
It's gonna be those engineers helping us.
Yeah. So no advantage on that, but I am gonna add a roll into it for this
I'm
one.
adding an 8 to that, so 16 plus 8 is 22.
16 plus 8 is 24.
Okay, 24, 22, 20.
Oh my god.
Maybe leave it on an extra minute.
You know what? They're going to take their time. Billy is going to take her time with this, and if things aren't to the point where she feels comfortable, they're going to keep working on it.
Yep. Okay.
So she's going to take the extra time on this. She's not rushing this.
All right, go ahead and add one more roll to it then.
Roll 20 to not fuck me over.
You got this. You got this.
28.
Okay.
Better, yeah.
Yeah. It's decent. It's not the part that you have to worry about as much, so good there. And then removing the shielding and configuring the reactor so that it can send the radiation inward instead of...
We're going to reconfigure the reactor first and then remove the shielding.
Okay. That's just part of the same roll.
Oh, sorry. I thought...
But the order is good to know, yeah.
Yeah, it's specifically because we don't want to have the shielding off and then it just go fuck.
Yeah.
Well, we just also don't want to stand in the stream of radiation.
Yeah. I also don't want to make you have to roll twice because that's more chances for a nat one.
It's true.
Fucking hell. 18 is 20.
Oh my god.
26.
If
Fuck.
only my assassin training.
Your engineer team comes through for you.
Thank you.
They go up behind, like, what are you doing?
Well, they're realizing that we don't actually have experience with nuclear reactors.
Yeah, I mean,
The terminals, just like the ship terminals, right?
I mean, really, nobody here does have a lot of experience with it, but like these are parts of the ship systems that are supposed to never really be touched until it's like in dry dock. Then finally setting up the remote trigger so that it doesn't blow up in your face if it blows up.
Yeah, talking about these guys are heroes. What? It's like Billy's just like trying not to like. She is sweating in this suit. Like she is kind of freaking out, but trying not to show that she's freaking out.
Also, if they're saying these guys are the heroes, consider how bad that makes the bad guys look.
I mean, true. So the engineering team
It's a whole relative.
has helped pretty well with the remote trigger.
Okay.
Go ahead and throw yours in there. 27. Awesome. 31.
Plus 8, so that makes 39.
Awesome. Also, hi, Decora. So you feel pretty confident that this is gonna work without exploding.
Right. Everybody off the fucking ship and into the bunkers, and I guess we're gonna go and join Rip on his ship for detonation time. Turkey.
Oh goodness.
I didn't lose her. We're overloading the nuclear reactor.
Is there not to sound
Did we actually tell Rip what we're doing?
I'm sure he probably heard at some point because this would take days to do.
Yeah,
Listen,
this has
Rip-
not been
Rip's
quiet.
opinion
There's
is
been a
not-
lot of engineers on the ship.
Rip is a tag along. He does not have a say.
Yeah, Rip's
You can
pretty
go
much.
sit with the lizard man. Like,
Yeah, Rip is pretty much like I've just learned to not ask questions. It's just let you do your thing, and it seems to work out.
Y'all kept beating me somehow.
I realized no matter what I tried, somehow you get out of it.
It's like there's plot armor sometimes or something.
So in consolation, we don't know how we get out of it either.
Not to sound like a video game going, are you sure you're done with this area because you can't come back?
oh my god.
But are you sure you've done everything that you want to do in this ship before turning this on?
Have we gotten all the files off the ship?
I think we did.
Yeah, you got all the important stuff anyways.
Have we gotten all the samples off the ship?
All the what off the ship?
Probably.
The different samples.
Yeah. Everything from like the med lab is out.
Did we get all the people in the barracks?
Yes.
Yeah, we moved them last session, I think.
There are no people on board.
Have we gotten all the animals off the ship?
Yes.
Something is tickling in the back of my brain, and I hate it because I don't know what it is. And I'm sure it's important.
What
Did
are
we get all the dead bodies off the ship?
I mean,
those will be fine. They'll keep.
It's gonna be irradiated. It will kill off the.
It's like when they irradiate a bag of nachos. It makes it last longer. It kills all the bacteria.
Also, it will kill off any leftover bits of the virus on the.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
Raven, what are we missing, and what can I roll to see what we?
I'm gonna think on it.
that feeling, please.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll, see what you get.
Because I also have a feeling Raven's just gaslighting us.
I'm not. I'm just asking, is there anything you want to do? I don't have anything in mind.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's a pretty stressful situation.
It is. I mean, you're only reverse engineering a nuclear reactor.
No pig.
No big. So 18, you feel nervous and you feel you have that feeling of you're leaving the house and you feel like you've
Left
you
the
forgot.
stove on.
Yeah, you've forgotten something, but you're like,
Can
I
go
probably
back
haven't, but I still have that feeling because
Go
I
back
have ADHD.
and double check everything and do another engineering roll just in case?
Don't even need to roll. You double check everything. Everything is as good as this group is going to get it.
Has Annie taken all the information off the servers?
Yes.
Not just necessarily medical stuff, but also any other information that was typically being stored on this ship.
Since it is a Black Ops ship.
Yeah.
I think we probably just ripped the server racks out.
Yeah, there's literally been days to do this, so yeah, if you want to have the server stuff off of there, that's totally fine.
Okay. Well, nothing else for Annie then.
A call out to Captain.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm missing, but I think it's ready to go. Am I missing anything? Or were we supposed to do something else on the ship before we did this?
I don't believe so. As long as there are no people or information, then I don't see the issue.
All right.
Can I, real quick, and before we actually set this thing off, can I have whatever small scout ships we have just kind of triangulate and have sensors on like wideband, I guess, or whatever, for any radiation that might leak out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Because that's the only thing I can think of is just leaks.
Right. Sparky, do you want to initiate the countdown?
Why would I want to initiate the countdown?
Because I don't want to initiate the countdown.
Listen, being part of this crew means you got to make really awful decisions that make you not want to do anything. And by that, I mean, we've all done them before, so it's your turn.
But you're already making me quit coffee.
I didn't do that, just to be clear. You got this.
All right.
Worst case, nothing really bad's gonna happen. Let's be real. I accidentally killed a man.
What? How do you accidentally kill a man?
It's pretty easy, actually. You don't realize someone's in there, and then something blows up, and they die.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's usually just called unforeseen circumstances. That's not you killing them actively.
Yeah, no, but like, I did trigger the thing, so. Anyway, you want to hit the button?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So you push the button, huh? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Raven, you're a delight. Tickles my heart.
Tell me how badly I fucked up.
So, didn't necessarily fuck up. Where are you in relation to the ship when you push the button?
Probably like at least 2 kilometers away in the ship, ready to make more space if needed.
Okay. So you push the button, and a few seconds later, there is this sort of jostling of the shuttle that you're in. And that sort of noise as all the electronics in the shuttle just cut out.
I knew there was something in my head. I knew it. I've seen this so many times. I'm like, I know I'm missing something.
Watch as Billy completely forgets the fact that nuclear detonations causes an EMP wave.
Technically not a detonation, so it's probably why we didn't think of it.
To the ground because Billy is half robotic.
Yeah.
So everything
Does that
shuts
mean
down.
Captain is offline?
No.
I think the ship's probably far enough. Like it's just the
far enough
scouts.
away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The shuttle shuts down, and then you wait, and then 5 seconds goes by, and then 10 seconds goes by.
Okay, before 15 seconds goes by, just to pause that countdown real quick.
Okay.
Sparky's going to like grab Rip's shoulder and ask, you have a backup power supply on this, right?
That might have been unclear. So he's been in like the ship's shuttle this whole time. So does your shuttle have a backup power supply?
It should. If it the Tabernacle?
No,
It's the one we brought over, I thought, wasn't it?
I believe this one
No.
came with a shuttle.
Yeah, no, this one came with.
Right.
Yeah.
They would take the extra generator, extra power supply that Seattle specifically installed because liking of EMP bombs.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
So yes, you flip that on, and then 15 seconds go by as your computer is booting up, the engines are kicking in.
Sparky's gonna calm Captain and everyone else and just ask to make sure the other two ships.
I would like to know, Raven, how badly affected is Billy affected by the EMP blast?
Weirdly, you seem fine. Captain's fine, Billy's fine. The comms are just static for the moment. And then 20 seconds go by and you all realize that you're not dead. No other like explosive wave has hit the ship. And your sensors are coming back online. You're going to try to figure out what just happened. I think that's a good spot to wrap up the session.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to point out that we had two other ships there doing radiation sensing, so I just hope that they also, have backups. Remember how I mentioned I accidentally killed some people?
Yes.
I kind of don't want to keep that going.
To be fair, this time it was Billy accidentally killing them.
No, because I was the one who told them to go up and do radiation sensing. So
yeah, but she pushed the button.
Well, then we're both culpable. Fuck.
Yep.
Honestly, the whole crew is, let's be real, like, we're all in this. Like,
so
God, of course the miner would completely forget that a nuclear explosion gives off an EMP wave.
It's the first time we've had to deal with one.
She doesn't deal with EMP waves particularly, or radiation.
That's true. So you're pretty sure that you're not all dead, because an explosion would have hit you by then. And when we come back next session, you'll be able to figure out what exactly just happened. So we're going to go on a raid here in a minute. Before we do, though, I want to give everybody a chance to see what their favorite part was, where people can find them, anything they'd like to share or plug. And we'll start with Goody.
let's see, my favorite part. I would just say the complete paranoia surrounding this whole operation. I mean, for good reason. It's a nuclear reactor, but at the same time, wow, like I don't have the creative capacity above, I don't know, hit it with something like. So yeah, just the problem solving was very impressive, and the like I said, the paranoia was, chef's kiss. But yeah, and I will be here next game.
Awesome. Again, Hannah couldn't make it today, but definitely come back next session next week, because Hannah's awesome and her character's amazing, and hopefully we'll have her back then. And then Alex, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
You can find me back here next week. Gosh, favorite moments. I have plenty of favorite moments this time. A lot of it is going to you, to be fair, making me so fucking paranoid. I was like, I know I'm missing something, but I'm like trying to think, is Billy? What is Billy missing? And this is the thing that my other character knows plenty about. God. Also, just the absolute abysmal roles that are Captain and Billy trying to be charming.
That was pretty great.
Sparky and Vanessa saving our asses and getting this message out to the world, which, oops, I guess we wanted the world to go, don't you just gotta get mad? Oops, we exposed your governments. Oops. Yeah, so you can find me around here next week.
Awesome. V, favorite part, where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Sorry, I was having trouble getting myself off mute. Favorite part? Good question. There were so many good ones. I did also enjoy seeing just the sheer amount of paranoia, because it was well deserved, and we still ended up forgetting something. I mean, on the scale of things that we could have forgotten, that was hopefully pretty minor. Minor. But yeah, no, I particularly liked rolling a 57 for once. That was pretty great. Instead of roll 20 absolutely eating all my rolls, which it usually does. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens next week. So I guess everybody will just have to tune in then. But as for myself, you can find me online. I have an art Twitter, which is at Peppero Draws. That's Pepper like the candy. I recently got an iPad for drawing, so I've been doing a lot more digital work lately. So I'm going to be posting more work, hopefully, over on my art Twitter, if you'd like to take a look at that. And I feel like there was something else I was going to mention. Can't remember what it was. I'm sure I'll think of it after the stream's over. So that's it for me, and I'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. And then Quinn, favorite part, where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Honestly, and I'll admit I do feel a little bad about like Alex and I like taking over the session for the most part. I think my favorite part was the absolute 180 that your dice rolls revealed after we did the leak of information. Because I'll be honest, I didn't think of that. I didn't see that bit coming. No. And we'll make it work, but also, oh God. Do you see that fire over there? Can you throw more gasoline on? Just throw the whole canister.
I think I have a song for this season. 24 hours ago, I wanna be.
Yep, that checks. That aside from that, Annie being relegated to an intern was just like, God, it feels like the writers had an off day.
Oh, that's
we don't know how to shoehorn Annie into this one. Just get coffee. I mean, literally Annie and Sparky saving the day with the thing. So, yeah, the whole session was, like Vanessa was saying, paranoid as hell. And frankly, that's the whole shtick about this game. Really. And I love it. I missed it. Where you can find me is nowhere else, just here. I only exist in this tiny little box. So catch me next week, and please feed me.
Awesome. That just leaves me. My favorite part is definitely the. All right, we're gonna carefully put this information together, make it look like a leak, and then I was like, I can't just flat out say this because that would be giving too much away. I'm like, what character can possibly think of this? Ended up being Annie. And then everybody being like, yeah, no, that's fine. It'll be fine. And then me going to throw the dice thinking it's probably not going to be that bad. And then it was like the worst possible combination of rolls. So just that kind of reminder that your entire world can change based on one stupid decision that like you've thought through every which way and back, and it's not even like you've made a stupid decision, but it's just like that one moment that something happens and it changes everything. So I enjoyed that, and then also the so you push the button, the immediate reactions from that was just priceless. I'm evil, and I sort of apologize, but it was fun. I'm looking forward to next week. Let's see where you can find me next. In a couple hours, actually, at 7 p.m. Mountain Time over on Weave the Tale. I will be guest starring as a fey creature named Lana for a really cool game called I am drawing a blank on the name. Somehow Human. So I'm excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's an incredible cast over there for this one. So yeah, come check me out over there. And then I believe the next stream for this channel will be Saturday. So next week. And then after that, we're going to be adding Champions of the Fae Season 2. There's a crowdfunding page for that over at the shop on coffee.com/Raven. Like it's spelled in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So if you would like to help us fund that to have cool stuff and get everybody paid, that would be awesome. And I think that is everything for where you can find me next. Other things to share or plug. Ravenflight Games, which is my brand for professional GMing and now for tabletop book publishing. That's going. One of the big things that I do there is start playing games, which is the link there in chat. If you would like to hire me to GM a game for you, you can do so there. I also run like pre-made adventures that I've put together, usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that you can just sign up for, or you can just contact me and request a specific day and time for just whatever you want. And if you're feeling really ambitious, you can hire me for a campaign as well. So a lot of cool stuff there. Other sponsors are Fundamental RPG, which is the system that powers Animus. It's a simple D20 system that's not tied to a genre, so you can actually use it for sci-fi like this, or high fantasy with magic. It's got a magic system built into it that you can use or you can leave out depending on what your story requires. It's pretty cool. It's very versatile. You can pick up physical copies like this one over on Amazon, or you can grab the PDF or the free quick play guide over at my coffee shop, which again, coffee.com/Raven/shop, like it's spelled in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And I think that is everything. So let's go raid somebody. Let's see. Most of the people that I would normally raid are all offline right now. Does anybody else have someone that they know that's online? If not, we'll just go grab a random recommended channel. Let's see here. This one looks good. AD Ventures. So basically ADHD Adventures. That sounds fun. We'll go raid them. I have no idea what their channel is about. Their name is just cool and they're playing D&D. So let's go say hi, and I will see y'all next week. Bye, everybody.